You're listening to Our Two Satoshis podcast with hosts Justin and Billy from CryptoBiz.com.
You with the microphone there, like just having to sit there and not move.
I know. I just want to swing around, goddammit.
So every time Billy moves, it does like a crackle on his mic today. I don't know what the hell's going on, but he's like sitting there like frozen right now.
That's my form. Sit up straight. Part of my
Welcome
new
to Our Two Satoshis podcast. This is Billy.
Hey guys.
So Billy. So what are we going to talk about today? Because I took a vacation last week and like totally checked out. I went to the beach for a couple days with my wife and daughter, and then we went to the mountains, and like we were in a place in the mountains where like you couldn't even receive or send a text message for days.
Nice.
It was actually glorious. It was like
Yeah.
the greatest thing in the world. Like
which beach you guys go to?
Nags Head. We went down
Okay,
Nags
Nags
Head.
Head.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nice.
We were only down there for a couple days, but it was enough with a 6-month-old. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can only spend a couple hours out on the beach, and then you're back to going back to the house and chilling and stuff. So it was enough, but it got our beach fix in for a little bit, so it was cool.
Nice. Was it what was the water like? Did you guys
Cold
go
as
in?
shit.
Yeah.
The farthest I went in was like up to the bottom of my swimming trunks. Like, I mean, it sounds bad going to the beach like that, but it was probably 90 degrees there, temperature wise, but water temperature wise. The first day we got there was 65.
Jesus.
20 minutes south, the water temperature was over the 80. So it was like Nags Head for some reason just has has cold ass water moving through that. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I wonder if that has something to do with like the rip tides. I want to say I saw something about that recently where a lot of people were drowning and having to get rescued, and just that time of year.
Well, it definitely wasn't like my niece and nephew were down there, and they like boogie boarding, and it was not good for them to boogie board because like the wind was blowing from different directions, so it was real choppy.
Right.
But and down there I could access the internet, and I did a little bit, but going up to the mountains and not having access, it was pretty great because right, here at home, in the technology world, when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is go on my phone. And I've been trying to break myself of that habit, and not doing that for a couple of days. It was just cool. I didn't even have my phone at some points. Like, I didn't even know where it was. It was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how people survive up there like that, though.
I know. Well, we kind of kickstarted things. We can kind of talk about something we brought up on our last episode, which was, is JayZ in crypto at all? So I did some digging. And it turns out he is.
You did your advanced Googling?
Did my deep Googling. Dark web. It turns out he is an investor in Robinhood.
Nice.
And he actually jumped in. I guess he has a venture capital firm. So it's like a subsidiary of, like, I think, Rock Nation.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, so he jumped in right after they announced they were going to start doing crypto. So I'm not sure if it was because of that that he jumped in, but yeah, he is in there. And so is Nas and Snoop Dogg.
Nice.
In Robinhood specifically.
Well, and Robinhood this week just had like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, like I said, I just came back from the middle of nowhere, but Robinhood just opened up Ethereum Classic trading, right? They hit that before Coinbase did.
Yeah. Yep, that's going to be fun to watch. Keep that going, that little rivalry.
Oh, that's great. At least somebody is finally kind of rivaling Coinbase, and it's healthy. I mean, it just means that they're going to improve on what they do, and they have to do it quicker now to keep up.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I also saw that. So like Beyonce and JayZ have like their tour right now. I can't remember what it's called, but
The Bay tour.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. The Bay J.
Well, I saw that they apparently are incorporating Bitcoin as well with their with ticket purchases.
Well, they saw how much money freaking 50 Cent made off that
Oh,
one
I
album. Didn't
know,
even realize he made like
dude.
$7 million.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's smart. I mean, they're good with money, so hey, I'm not surprised. Um,
Oh, they've
so
created an
50 Cent
empire.
isn't, but JayZ is.
Yeah, I mean, I watched some, or I looked at some stuff. This was months ago, but where like Jay-Z, 50 Cent's going through like bankruptcy court, but yet he's building like this palace in like South Africa or something. Like,
Yeah, it's like I don't know how that all works, but
well, hey, before we kind of jump from Coinbase, I do want to touch on one thing with that. They did open up, well, they're opening up immediate deposits, which is cool. Like before, you had to, you purchase your crypto at the current market price, and then it took like 7 days for you to get
right,
it. And they're going to be opening up immediate deposits. And if you have a verified account, they're changing the limit from 25,000 a week to 25,000 a day you can
nice.
purchase.
All right,
Like that's crazy to me.
that's a big jump.
25,000 a day. Like I would think if I had that kind of money, there would be some type of other platform I'm buying it from and not Coinbase. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I would be using their custody service, right? Like
yeah.
we talked about it a couple episodes ago. Um, Good. I mean, the infrastructure is getting built. The door's widening.
And in the UK, you can do, the limit for transactions through faster payments is a whopping 250,000, even though Coinbase says there's no real limit. Um, I don't know if that's you being able to, I'm just reading this based on these articles. I don't know if that's you being able to purchase 250,000 worth, or you just being able to transfer that much in payments.
Hmm, I don't
The other
know.
thing is that's with credit card purchases, which JayZ, that was on our podcast a few weeks ago, said that he hates. He
Right.
wishes people couldn't do that with credit cards. But with debit cards, you can only do 7,500 a week. So if you buy it
That's
with
interesting.
your money,
I know.
it's
How does
7,500
that
a
make
week.
sense?
But if you buy it with a credit card, you can buy a bajillion dollars worth.
Right.
Right?
Uh, yeah, I
It's
don't get
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Um, did you see that High Times is going to be accepting crypto?
Yeah, we actually, so through our partnership, you put that article up the other day from one of our partnerships. So that's for
Right.
their IPO, right?
Yeah. So just to be clear, this is an IPO, not an ICO. So
Hmm.
um, it's not an initial coin offering. They're actually going public the traditional way, but they're offering investors new ways to invest. So they're offering Bitcoin and Ethereum payment channels. Um, they basically were saying that they don't want, that they didn't personally think that the crypto space as a platform was the right fit for them, but they didn't want to exclude that customer base from
Well,
investing in them.
that's cool.
So yeah.
And you can buy shares in the company. Investors can for as little as $11 right now.
Hmm.
So what
Yeah.
all I haven't, I mean, I know High Times when it comes to like the magazine they put out, but what else do they do? I mean, they have a website, like they're not actually in the sales of cannabis or anything like that, are they? Like in Colorado or any of those states?
I mean, not that I know of. Like, as far as I know, they're just kind of a resource publication, but I could be wrong. Um, I'm not a personal reader of it. I'm well aware of what they are and what they do, but I've never personally bought one of the magazines or anything like that. I just thought it was an interesting pop culture piece, and
Oh yeah.
it's a first. The first time a company going public is going to offer that payment channel.
See, it's almost
So,
like I have the opinion there that on one hand, that's great, they can bring in more money, but on the flip side, is it just better for them that they are the first to do this, so it puts their name out there even more,
totally.
you know?
It's a
Like
PR.
that's
It's PR.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that really gonna, if they didn't take crypto, would they get any less money? I doubt it.
Yeah.
But either way, it's cool. Cool headline.
Yeah, we'll check out that article. It'll be linked below in our podcast there to talking about high times accepting this. It goes into more detail than we just talked about right there, but
Should be
it's a
easy to
pretty
find.
interesting piece.
And
Yeah.
the cover image is a bunch of weed.
CryptoFizz.com. Just look for the weed picture.
Nuggets.
That's awesome. So you started this thing. We talked about it on the podcast last week, and you can join our Discord if you want to get in on this. But you started this kind of trend where you want to see how much you can turn 500 into by early next year, and
Right.
and you wrote an article about one of the coins that you're starting out with. Can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, so just to go back a tiny bit, just to kind of set the scene for the strategy itself, what I'm trying to do is swing trade. So I'm starting with 500 bucks, and I want to find something, a good quality project that has a event coming up within a week, and I want to basically get in the week before the event and sell before that day. So this first one, I bought into Deep Brain Chain. The ticker is DBC. And so it's a project that's on the Neo blockchain, and it's kind of like the Ethereum equivalent of Gollum. So what you're essentially doing is selling your extra processing power for someone else that wants to buy it from you for a certain amount of time. So say you want to, run, some kind of rendering software on your personal computer, but you don't have enough resources to do it, the hardware to do it, you can actually buy that power for like an hour to do it.
Do you know, like, I am totally not the graphics guy or anything like that. Can you expand a little bit on that rendering? Like, do you understand the full concepts of that? Because that's the one that's always brought up with like Gollum and stuff.
Right. So I've personally never gone through that workflow. Like I've never tried to do any kind of high processor rendering. But I do know from like my experience with Illustrator, like if I'm trying to take, say, a logo and make it look 3D, I'm trying to think of a good example. I know Funfair has a couple of graphics where they use that kind of effect, but it's like if you take like a flat image, say it's like the Bitcoin logo, and there's like like a setting in Illustrator that will basically take that shape and make it look like it's floating in space, like in a 3D way. And so to do that, that requires a lot of processing power. And so a lot of computers, a lot of laptops can't handle that function. And if it can, it just takes like an hour for it to process. So I have a MacBook Pro, and it takes like a minute, which is a freaking eternity, to do something that simple. So in those scenarios, it would be awesome to be able to borrow some extra horsepower, so to speak, and make that happen in like 2 seconds, So in my limited knowledge base, yeah.
Can I use that to run VLOOKUPs on Excel on a Mac? Because Mac is stuck with Excel.
Maybe. That might be a little. Hey, I might need to check that out.
That's the bane of my existence at when I have to do stuff with Excel on here, because it's like something about, I don't know, people like shout me down in the community if I'm wrong here, but what I've read, like, Macs don't use all their cores when using Excel to process things like that. So I don't know.
That might be worth checking out. That could be a little third-party service there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not really doing deep dives into these things. Like it looked like an interesting project, and chart looked good. The community was strong. Solid team background, like Silicon Valley types, industry professionals. Now the only issue here is this strategy works the best and really only works when the broader market is bullish. So today would have been the day that I sold for my 20% profit. That's kind of the mark that I'm going for, 20% with each trade. So early yesterday, probably maybe noon Eastern, I was looking good. I wasn't quite at 20%, so I still let that trade ride because I had my sell order already set. And I was like, you know what? So in my head, I was like, man, this is looking good. The chart was picking up, market was looking bullish. So I figured by the time I got up this morning, my sell order would have filled. It would have been on to the next one. Turns out the broader market took a
SEC.
shit, and we're down like 15% today. So needless to say, my trade did not fill, and now I'm down probably 10%. But
That's
as
got
they
to be
say,
because of the SEC.
yep, yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, what happened was the SEC pushed back the CBOE ETF application decision until September for now. Who knows? It
September
might get pushed
30th, I
back.
believe, right?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And who knows? It could get pushed back until November, December, January. Um, so the market did not like that decision.
Not at all. Not at all. Do you think that that well shit, I just lost my damn train of thought there. Would you rather have the SEC push something like that back, or would you rather have them just deny the application for now, like the Winklevoss application got denied?
I mean, I would rather them take their time. I mean, that specific application has basically addressed their concerns, start to finish. Like that application was geared towards the concerns that the SEC has brought forward up until this point. There might be more at play here than we're aware of. But I mean, at the end of the day, we have, it doesn't matter what I think. It's going to happen when it happens, but I think that application is going to be it. You know what I mean?
So,
Because it's based on like real Bitcoin. It's not futures or anything else, but it's going through the same channels and from the same party that's already regulated. Like it's not the Winklevoss's application; it's the CBOE, which is the futures market.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
I
I
just
don't
had
know.
to mute
We'll have to wait and
myself
see.
first. I just had to mute myself for a second. I don't mean to interrupt on this, but my wife just ran in the front door, frantic, because our dog was out front with her and was choking on a lizard.
What?
Yeah. What the hell? Like this
Jesus.
dog will eat everything. It takes us an hour though when we put his food down to get him to eat his damn food, but he'll go outside and eat a goddamn lizard. Like,
Hey, those instincts.
So yeah, so that'll be exciting if the CBOE application does get approved. I mean, that'll be huge. That's huge.
That's
I
going to
mean,
be the catalyst to take us to the stratosphere.
I mean, how many? There's like a plethora of applications out there for these ETFs
Uh-huh.
right now. Like
Yeah.
one of them has to hit. It's going to be literally run around the house naked when one of these hits because the market is just gonna skyrocket. In my opinion, like I mean,
Yeah, we're going to hit 20K real quick.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's like the ultimate validation. Like grandpa and grandma can invest in this shit in their 401k.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
wonder what the
serious.
percentage of Americans are that actually know about cryptocurrency now. I saw an article where the stat was 44% of Russians now know about cryptocurrency. Now, I don't know if that's because they're talking about maybe making their national currency a cryptocurrency or what, but I don't know, that's pretty interesting.
And I saw something about this from a U.S. standpoint, but I can't remember the stats on it. It was pretty low, though, as far as those that have invested. It was like a single digit.
Oh, we
Uh,
talked about this on a podcast a while ago. It was like 3% of the world.
yeah, it was tiny.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Venezuela's inflation is increasing. I saw today by like it's doubling every, I think, what was it? Every like 8 days or something. Like people are like scrambling for Bitcoin just to have some kind of monetary, something.
What's the
Um,
petro looking like now?
I haven't even looked. It just sounds like a bloodbath over there.
Is that even on? Yeah, I don't even think it's on. Oh, petro, it's up 12.9%. If that's petrodollar on CoinMarketCap, I'm not sure if that is what it is. Shit, that's only at 0.7 of a penny right now. That's up 23% on Bitcoin today and 13% on the dollar.
Yeah.
Volume 24 hours, $28. Never mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, we aren't allowed to buy it, right? Like the U.S. dollar isn't like legally allowed to invest in the petro.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all black market volume.
Yeah. What are the markets that it's on? Cryptopia and Yobit. Cryptopia's 24-hour volume, $21. Yobit's $7. It's almost, the funny part is, I mean, I'm sure the liquidity is so low, but it's double the price on Yobit that it is on Cryptopia.
Yeah,
I wonder if
I
that's
definitely think it's volume related.
yeah, arbitrage ability, but the volume's so low that's not even possible.
Exactly.
So check out the Deep Brain Chain article. That'll be linked below the podcast. There was another article that you posted up from one of our partners this week that was talking about, who knows with the Red Sea that we're seeing right now, but the best Bitcoin alternatives for altcoins on the rise. I mean,
Yeah.
these are pretty straightforward, but
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing surprising. Like, it's not like you're going to find a dark horse that's going to be, like the next Bitcoin. And so the premise of it was, here's, 4 blue chips to get into that aren't Bitcoin. Like, here's 4 altcoins by market cap that are, big players. So you have like EOS, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, things like that. So it's like, if you want to have a diverse portfolio, look into
the other two were EOS and Stellar Lumens, just to make sure that
Stellar
we have
Lumens.
covered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like it's always a good idea to diversify, and if you're going to do it, using some of those larger market caps is a good idea. Which, by the way,
okay.
kind of a side note, I'm actually listening to this book by Ray Dalio, who's like one of the most successful hedge fund guys in the world. He said the holy grail of investing is to find 15 uncorrelated assets. Now, we can't really do that in crypto because everything's kind of riding the Bitcoin wave, but it's something to think about. If you're going to do it within crypto, maybe you could buy the top mover in gambling, the top mover in blah, 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 and do that across 15 different sectors. So I'm trying to incorporate more of those, traditional techniques wherever possible.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I mean, everybody's kind of got their own, strategy. Like, sure. I wrote an article about this a while ago on CryptoFizz that I'll link below, but I can't even think of the author's name. But basically, I had read his book, and it's about stocks and investing. It's how to beat the Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And his thing is that he suggests that you only invest in industries that you know.
Right.
So like rather than, we're in IT, rather than investing in like oil, which, I don't know shit about oil. Invest in something IT related. And the big part of that is that before it even gets to the larger scale investors, you'll already be in it because you'll have seen it prior to them because that's the market you follow. Mm-hmm. So I guess you can probably, you can kind of take strategies from both of those. You could do 15 uncorrelated markets, but do it in markets that you understand.
Right. Yeah. And, it all comes down to what your goals are, right? Like a day trader won't have the same strategy and techniques as somebody that's a hedge fund investor.
Yeah.
It's just
he was a hedge fund investor too. God, this is going to kill me now. While we're talking here, I'm going to search it because his name's Peter.
Remember you told me about this?
Yeah.
Is it Drucker?
No. Man, this is going to kill me. While I'm looking for that, let's talk about the big moves that I got to laugh when I say this because I didn't know people actually use this, but maybe I'm just in a bubble. Let's talk about what Opera is doing. Who out there still uses Opera? Comment below.
Raise your hands. All right, we got one. I have never used that browser, ever.
Well, they are going to be integrating a cryptocurrency wallet into their desktop browser.
Saw that. I imagine they're like, got nothing to lose.
Well, it almost makes me question, like, I guess, because that's only really Ethereum, but MetaMask could do Ethereum and all ERC20 tokens, and that could essentially be added to any browser.
True.
But yeah, they're going to be incorporating it too. Opera promises its browser cryptocurrency integration will roll out to users soon, and you can actually sign up for their beta. It looks like. But I guess they're trying to compete with the Google Chromes. I'm sure they're way behind Brave as of right now, which actually Brave's making some huge moves with all the stuff that Google and others have been doing lately with their censoring of individuals and stuff like that, and censoring of ads and whatnot.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think market share will definitely be taken away. I mean, it's not going to be overnight, but I think those guys are going to be chipping away at the big dogs.
yeah.
And who knows, eventually they might have to change their act once they see enough taken away. But
Well, who knows? I actually I liked a tweet the other day from Kim.com. Let me see if I can find it real quick. He's like that notorious, like, I mean, from what I remember, he used to be like a hacker and stuff, but this was talking about, let me see if I can find the tweet real quick. He said, so this is talking about the Alex Jones InfoWars guy being banned from all these platforms at the same exact time. Whether you like the guy or not, that's definitely a slippery slope right there.
Exactly.
And they kind of did it at the exact same time. So McAfee was going off on this saying that's collusion and that's against the law, basically. But Kim.com tweeted yesterday, Twitter, Facebook, Google, you betray your users by helping the deep state to spy on all. You politicize your platforms to manipulate public opinion. You shadow ban, censor, and attack free speech. Your tech is easy to replace, and your users will leave you. Your days are numbered. So, talk about like Google, talk about like Google getting their act together or whatever. This could be the turning point right now that we're seeing, and we don't even realize really that we're that fully into it, that these big corporations, these big Silicon Valley companies are really on their last legs, and the nails being put in their coffin. I mean, you and I were on a business trip a while ago, and we were talking to one of our young colleagues that's in his early 20s. Hell, I don't even know if he's 20 yet. He's just out of or he's still in college, but he's a programmer, and he was saying that none of his friends even use Facebook anymore. And they use like Snapchat and other things like that, which Snapchat's actually losing a lot of users as well.
Musically and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you saw Mark Zuckerberg a week or two ago lost 15 billion in like 10 minutes or something like that.
Right.
So who knows what the hell is going on, but I definitely foresee that blockchain and things like, I don't know, use examples like Steemit and, social media platforms that are now being built on the blockchain and stuff, that it's going to start taking a large market segment away from these larger companies once people really understand the blockchain. And their days could be numbered.
Yeah, it's funny to me how much people don't understand or don't realize that if a product is free, most likely you're the product. Like if the service is free, there's a reason for that. Because they're using your data.
Exactly.
So eventually people are going to wise up, and I'm not sure what it's going to take, whether it's another data breach like at Target or one of these credit rating platforms. I mean, something's going to happen where the final straw. Or it's like, you know what, I want to protect my data. I want to own my own stuff. The writing's on the wall.
Do you think a lot of people out there even care, though?
That's the thing. I wish they did, but I don't think they do.
I
figure
figure in some ways that they already have all of my information anyway, but
that's kind of how I feel. I've already given them too much.
No, the
Uh,
only fears that I have, and I actually see a lot more articles popping up about this lately, is if they're actually like on our cell phones and stuff, listening to conversations that we have to be able to present us with certain ads and stuff.
right.
That's the stuff I don't like. I mean, I don't even personally, I don't even leave my Alexa plugged in all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't even have one. I mean, and it's not because of that though. I just haven't bought one. I have every other gadget, but um, yeah,
so
I just kind of feel like at this point they already know so much about me. Like it's too late.
I pulled up that article because I finally found it. So on our website, I'll link it below too. It's titled "Crypto Investing Using Stock Market Principles as Your Guide." I actually wrote this back in July of 2017. Um, the book was One Up on Wall Street: How to Use What You Already Know to Make Money in the Market, and it was by Peter Lynch, and he ran the most
Oh, okay.
successful hedge fund from 1977 to 1990. It was the Magellan Fund at Fidelity Investments. So during that time frame, the fund averaged a 29.2% annual return.
Nice.
So this dude knows what he's talking about when it comes to stocks, and you can definitely take some of those principles and apply those to, the crypto market.
Right.
So,
Um, something that I kind of want to touch on a little bit because I know a lot of people are freaking out right now. There's other ways to make money instead of just holding long term. Like you can do um, various passive income techniques. Like just so I'm not going to dive deep on this, but there's staking. So if you hold a certain coin, and not all coins do this, but many of them do. They use proof of stake. So if you have um, a certain number of coins in your wallet and you hold them there, you're going to get paid out. Um,
so like Neo does something like that with their
yeah, you get
gas or
gas,
whatever.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So there's that. You can hold like various exchange coins. So one example is like Qcoin or Binance. They have their own coin. So basically, if you have um, those coins, you're going to get paid out basically dividends based on the fees that they collect. Um,
I didn't tell
yeah.
you this, but I actually did that recently for 90 days. It was just such a small amount, so I didn't get much of a return. But I did that with Bridgecoin,
Okay.
with CryptoBridge. CryptoBridge has their own token,
Yeah.
and you get like portions of little other coins and stuff. Like I didn't even get enough of the other coins to really sell any of them. Um, but uh, but yeah, I mean that's uh,
Yeah. I mean, there's other ways out there.
mhm.
Um, of course, there's airdrops, which aren't uh, directly passive. Like you can't. If you search for them, you can find them as much as you want. But there's airdrops. There's like earn.com,
Exactly. I've done
uh,
earn.com a few times.
referrals. So there's, do a little bit of research. You can still make some money in a down market. Masternodes are a big one. We've harped on this freaking every episode. Uh, Gincoin platform. Can't say it enough. Like I sleep very peacefully because of that platform.
Oh, it's great. And then you can also make 1,000 funfair if you go to our Twitter and actually
Yeah.
actually fill out our trivia questions about our podcast 2 weeks ago with JayZ.
Hmm.
So we're giving away 1,000 funfair. Should definitely check that out. We'll link the tweet below in this podcast as well.
Exactly. Easy money, people.
So we got to close this out because we have our team meeting for
Hmm.
CryptoFizz coming up here shortly. But one thing that I do want to touch on just very briefly as a preview, I don't know if I mentioned this last week or not, but I am starting myself to learn Solidity. Man,
Yeah.
dude, everything that I've been reading about it, like there's 12 open positions apparently for every one blockchain engineer right now out
Nice.
there. And granted, I want to use it for things at CryptoFizz, but like if you're looking for a new career,
Hmm.
go that route, man. I
No
mean,
brainer.
there are great websites like cryptozombies.io you can go to, and it takes you through the whole thing of writing a smart contract while you build a zombie game. I just actually personally subscribed to or purchased a course on Udemy, the top ranked course, and it has like 5,000 reviews. It's 24 hours worth. I mean, if you can take 1 month and sit down, or 2 months and sit down and actually learn this,
Hmm.
even beginner level developers can get jobs out there because, like I was telling you, I was reading this article and it was saying that most really good Solidity programmers that have been around for a while also invest in Ethereum. So they're like rich off their ass now and they don't even need to work.
Right.
So I'm going to be actually creating taken from some other guides that I find out there, things that I learn or whatever. May even create some videos. I don't know yet. I haven't really, plotted it all out, but looking at, creating some articles, maybe a multi-part series as well on becoming a Solidity developer and the path that I'm going through to do that. So if anybody out there has any suggestions on any resources for, for learning Solidity, hit me up. If you don't know much about Solidity, it's a lot like JavaScript. It's the programming language for smart contracts. There's a few different other ways you can program smart contracts as well, from what I know. But like I said, I'm a beginner at it. I'm just learning, so check it out. But that's pretty exciting to me. Anything else on the horizon that you want to mention, Billy, or you want to go ahead and kind of close this one out for the week?
Yeah, I think that's it, man. We kind of covered a metric shit ton of content. Um, just as always, thanks for listening. If you have suggestions, hop in Discord, holler at us, leave us a comment. Any suggestions or feedback, always welcome. That's all I got.